let's flip the page and let's talk about probably two of the best college, especially back to back college playoff games that we have ever seen. What this week showed me, and it kind of goes for both teams or both games, TCU and Michigan, Ohio State and Georgia. It goes to all these teams, in my opinion, were equal. Now, of course, they all did different things, but they all were equal. They all came in at an equal playing field. Now, yes, I thought Michigan was going to win, but each team was equal, in my opinion. The thing that loses games when you have two teams that are equal are minor mistakes. And there's no such thing as minor mistakes, because minor mistakes turn massive when they count and when they matter the most. And you saw that especially in the TCU Michigan game. First of all, shouts out to TCU for beating Michigan 51-45. If you would have told me that a college football game that was playing to make it to the national championship would end 51-45, I'd be like, damn, what is that, a USC game? No. And both of these teams' defenses are okay. No, let me say, Michigan's defense is projected on paper and how it's been all year way better than TCU's defense. TCU isn't really known for their defense, honestly. Their defense has been good as of late, but they've come back in a lot of games. But TCU, it was the little things. Max Duggan, the quarterback for TCU, he didn't have the best game. 14 for 29, 225 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He didn't have the best of games. But J.J. McCarthy didn't either. I mean, yes, he threw for 343 yards, but he also had 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions as well. What was it? It was the miscues. It was... People are going to say that the refs cost Michigan the game. You know, there was the touchdown that wasn't called a touchdown, but it was kind of clear as day that it was a touchdown. That got them on the 1 yard line. Like the very next play was a turnover or was a fumble. Or they can talk about the last play of the game, which was a clear targeting that they didn't call targeting. But it's the little things. It's the 2 turnovers. It's the fumble at the end zone or in the end zone. I think twice. That means that Michigan was in 4 positions to score and didn't score and lost 51-45. Shouts out to TCU, man. Again, I didn't think TCU. I thought TCU was good, but I thought that there was, like, for lack of a better term, levels to this. And I thought that Michigan and Georgia were on a different level than TCU and Ohio State. But I was clearly wrong in that. TCU has had a magical season this entire year. And now is a game away from calling themselves national champions. And I don't know, and I don't think TCU has ever won a national championship. I could be wrong, but off the top of my head, I don't believe TCU has ever won a national championship. This TCU, hell, and Ohio State did something that I think have only seen maybe once or twice this year. Michigan is known for their defense and their running game. Now, yes, I understand that Blake Corum didn't play for Michigan, but I don't know if that really mattered because Donovan Edwards had 119 yards. However, did fumble in the end zone. Or did fumble at like the 1 yard line. Yo, one thing is JJ McCarthy threw 2 pick sixes. 2 in that game. It's the little mistakes which turn massive in games like this. 2 pick sixes. And you know who I know that this game was played like these teams were equal? It was just the mistakes, because there's no way you should throw 2 pick sixes in a game and you lose by 6 points. Shouts out to TCU, man. You're hearing reports now on the Michigan side that Jim Harbaugh is ready to head back to the NFL if he gets an offer. Hey, man, it's up to him. I would say I think people are a little overcritical of Jim Harbaugh. I think that a month. I think Michigan didn't play for a month before they played TCU, so I can understand, they didn't look the most prepared in the first half of the game. I get that. Especially, but how do you prepare yourself to throw a pick six the first drive of the game or the second drive of the game? So I thought, whether it's over or not, I think that Jim Harbaugh had a very successful run in Michigan as a Michigan head coach. Again, let's not forget where Michigan was as a franchise or as a program before Jim Harbaugh got there. And I think that he's won 10 or more games every single year. Beat Ohio State twice. Like, come on now. That was a good game. That was probably one of the best games we've ever seen, which was followed by the Georgia-Ohio State game. Let me tell you something. A couple things actually was proven to me in this Georgia-Ohio State game. One, I've been very critical of Stetson Bennett. I was always I'm not always, but I was kind of under the impression, Stetson Bennett is good. One of the biggest reasons for his success was and is the Georgia's defense. And I always wanted to see, can Georgia win a game where the defense didn't show up? And Stetson Bennett in the offense is going to have to carry him. Because they also, remember they had James Cook last year, who is now in the NFL. So they had running. I've always felt that the people around him people around Stetson Bennett contributed more to the success that was and is the Georgia Bulldogs than Stetson Bennett. So I was thinking, and I was questioning, can Stetson Bennett win them the game? Or can he be the reason why they win the game? And that's exactly what he was. And that's exactly what happened in the Peach Bowl, where Georgia beat Ohio State 42-41. Now, yes, we could talk about probably the most shanked game-winning field goal I have ever seen in my life. I have never seen a ball that wasn't even tipped, I don't think, went so far wide left. I was like, good God. The ball damn near went out of frame. That's how bad of a kick it was. So, yes, you can point to that and say, well, that's why Georgia won. But no. Georgia won. Think about this. C.J. Stroud finished the game 23 for 34, 348 yards, 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. This is against a Georgia team that has been dominant defensively this entire season. Yeah, they may have one or two clunkers, but it was against teams that had no business winning or had no business, which is why they're undefeated. Yo, Marvin Harrison Jr. had 5 catches for 106 yards, 2 touchdowns. Emeka Agumbake, I know I messed your name up, bro. I apologize. 8 receptions for 112 yards, 1 touchdown. Xavier Johnson, 43 yards, 1 touchdown. Julian Felming, 5 receptions for 71 yards, no touchdowns. Bruh. Ohio State had 100, and this is an Ohio State team, right? That is known like the biggest question about Ohio State and C.J. Stroud was, is he ready for the big moment? Because in the biggest game of his career, well, before the Peach Bowl, which was the Michigan game, he looked horrible. He looked god awful. So they were just like, how does CJ Stroud fare in the biggest games? He showed scouts, he showed everyone that he is ready for the moment. And when the defense got shredded, bro. The Georgia defense got shredded. But it was Stetson Bennett. Stetson Bennett went 23 for 34. 398 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. And surprisingly, the numbers don't tell the biggest story. Stetson Bennett, I think, also had a rushing touchdown, even though he rushed for negative 18 yards. God damn. What I'm saying is this. The questions that I had of Stetson Bennett was answered. And I was skeptical about the fact of, can he win them a game when nothing else is working? And while you can say, well, Ohio State's defense isn't the same, I don't care. Ohio State is still 11-2. So congratulations to TCU and congratulations to the Georgia Bulldogs for making it to the national championship. I'll give my prediction probably on Saturday's episode. So I'll kind of break it down a little bit more and talk about it. But it was a hell of a season for Ohio State. I hear people talking about, well, you see, Alabama should have made it. They didn't. Because I know people are going to look at the fact of Alabama just completely destroyed Kansas State. And Kansas State also destroyed beat TCU. However, TCU's in the national championship. Alabama isn't. So, again, congratulations to Georgia. Yo, Big Ten. Trust me, I know. I get it was a good game. Both games were great, but the Big Ten had a chance. They had a chance. I don't think we've seen a national championship without a SEC team. I mean, once they went to the college football playoffs, I don't think we've seen one. I know Georgia was, of course, one last year. Alabama has been in most of them. Of course, Clemson. But let me look that up real quick. college football playoffs. Because I really don't think we've seen a national championship that didn't feature an SEC team. Let me see. No, I'm sorry. We had one. And that was the inauguration of it. That was the first one, the 2014. We had Ohio State and Oregon. I remember that one because that's the one where Ezekiel Elliott went crazy. But since then, Alabama and Clemson, Clemson, Alabama, Alabama and Georgia, Clemson, Alabama, LSU and Clemson, Alabama and Ohio State, Georgia and Alabama. The Big Ten had a chance where they could say that they were the best conference because they would have had two teams in the college football playoffs, or no, college football national championship. And the worst part about it is they had the shot. Again, I told you, it's the little things. If McCarthy doesn't throw 2 pick sixes, one of them was in the fourth quarter. If he doesn't throw 2 pick sixes, and if the Ohio State kicker, Jesus Christ, if the Ohio State kicker doesn't shank a kick that bad, we could have had a full SEC. A full Big Ten national championship. And now that I'm thinking about it, last year we've had a full SEC national championship, Georgia and Alabama, but we've never had a Big Ten, a full Big Ten, 2 teams in the Big Ten, and they had the shot, and they blew it. But congratulations again to TCU, and congratulations to Georgia for making it to the national championship. Oh, man, you stayed to the end of the video. I appreciate you. If you like what you saw, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you'll never miss any content from your boy. You can also go back and watch past episodes, past clips, and don't forget that the Unpopular Podcast, new episodes drop every Wednesday and Saturday. Appreciate you.